Hey guys, I'm Brianna, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do a quick, mini TBR. I'm only home for a week, so I still have work to do and I have errands to run and I'm gonna see a couple friends, but of course I'm gonna read and watch Netflix, guys. I gotta catch up on my TV shows. But other than that, I wanted to do a quick TBR of what books I'm gonna read and kind of catch you up on my life so far and everything. So first is I started a new show. Okay. So at first I started a show on Amazon Prime because I have both. And it was True Blood. I don't know if any of you guys know it. It was on HBO a while ago, but it's basically about vampires. To me, it reminded me of the adult version of Vampire Diaries, but I loved it so much, and of course it stopped at season 6, so I got season 7 from my library, and I'm hoping to binge watch the rest of it, hopefully today or tomorrow or like this week, because I only have a week home, but yes. And then number 2 is I started Reign on Netflix, which is, okay, so it's about Queen Mary of Scotland, who I don't know how to describe it, but Queen Elizabeth I, who was a Protestant, Queen Mary of Scotland married the King of France to have an alliance. She's a Catholic. It's like a whole big thing. Reign was on the CW, and honestly, I'm loving it so far. I'm already on season 2, like episode 8, so I'm far into it. There's like 5 seasons, I think. It's a decent amount, but I'm very excited to finish the series and continue on. It's great. I love it. But again, I'm a historical person. I really love history, and I love anything to do with Scotland or any like European countries. I'm like a huge fan of that. But yeah, so those were like the 2 major things I wanted to talk about. So on to my TBR that may or may not happen. So I talked about in the other video the 2 books I'm reading, but I'll show you guys again. So the first one's Darkness Embraced by Tilly Cole. This is book 7 of the Hades Hangman series. This follows Tanner and Adiletta? Don't know how to pronounce her name. But this one I'm interested in. I'm not reading it. So I started reading it and then I put it down because I'm not really in the mood for dark romance. But if I was, I'd be reading this book. And I'm very excited. The cover is beautiful. The spine's so pretty. And then my mom already read it, so I got my mom hooked on the series, guys. We love that. But my mom read it, and she really loved it, so I'm hoping to love it. And the next book is Viking's book, so love you, Tilly Cole. I love Viking and pineapples. Oh, so great. And the next book I'm reading, which is a reread for me, is Frat Girl by Kylie Roche. I really enjoyed this book the first time I read it. It's like a feminist spin, so I'm reading it again because I want to. Okay, then we have the 2 books that I've been saying I'm going to read since like August, and guess who hasn't read them yet? Me. But it is Moonlight Since by Jennifer Armentrout and Moonlight Seduction, book 1 and book 2. I don't know what the series is called, but yeah. So I haven't read these books yet. I really should because book 3 just came out. Personally, I think I may just not read them and just wait until the summer to read them, since I get 4 months off because of college and stuff. But yeah, these are like adult mystery thriller romances. They're really good. The first one's really good. I haven't read the second one yet, but we'll see if I get to them. Then I've been wanting to read this book for a while. I've already read it, but I wanted to reread it, and it's Broken Beautiful Hearts by Cami Garcia. I loved this book so much when I read it. It's a YA, but it kind of reads more like a new adult. It follows a girl who's in high school. She's a senior or junior. I don't know. She's a senior, and she's a star soccer player. She's getting ready for college and everything, and then something happens, and she injures her knee. I won't tell you how, but she injures her knee, and to me, that's literally me because that's what happened. So I love reading about myself. And then she ends up going down to Tennessee to get away and recover and everything and try and figure out who she is without the possibility of soccer. And I loved this book when I read it, and I cannot wait to read it again. Then so before I get into this, I'm really in the mood for fantasy right now. I don't know why. I'm just in the mood for it. So I want to read The Changelings Journey by Christine Spores. I've had this sitting on my shelf since last October. 2 Octobers ago. So a while. But this is a fantasy about Fae, and it's, I believe she ends up leaving her, she's a changeling, and which is I think it's they're half human, half Fae, but they're sickly, and she ends up being brought to a human village when she's young and raised there because the fairies didn't want her because she was sickly. So she ends up leaving to find, like, her Fae parents, I believe, and, like, her Fae ancestors, and she stumbles upon that she's the princess. I don't really know the whole thing, but the cover's beautiful. It takes place in Scotland, I believe, but I'm really excited to read it. I'm definitely going to bring this back with me. I'm just in the mood for a fairy book or a fantasy book, so I have this. Then, the long-awaited The Cruel Prince. I'm reading it again. This is by Holly Black. This is a Fae fantasy. It's YA. The Wicked King already released. It's been out for a couple months, or 2 months. 3 months, a couple months now, and I haven't read it, so I'm hoping to read The Cruel Prince and then The Wicked King, and if I have time, I'll run to Barnes & Noble and pick up a copy so I have it, but I really want to read this. I'm in the mood for fantasy. This book was great. It's more in the darker spectrum, and it does leave with kind of a cliffhanger, so I'm excited to see how it continues over to The Wicked King, and I'm not positive if there's a second book, another book after that. I don't remember, but I'm excited to jump on this train again and get into this world and read it. And this is the ARC. My full copy is back at college, so again, if I don't finish it here, if I don't end up reading it here, I'll read it when I get back to school. Then I have Consumed by J.R. Ward. This is the ARC version as well, but this came out in October. Have not read it yet. Oh well. It's March, guys. Still haven't read it. I've been super busy, but I want to read this. This is a firefighter romance. It's about an arson investigator, so it seemed really interesting. I've read the novellas already. I think there's 3 of them out, or 2 of them. I've read them, so I just want to jump on this train. I have read J.R. Ward before, and I like her writing, so it's going to be interesting to see this. I don't know if I'm in the mood to read it yet, but again, I would like to read it sometime. And then I have a book that's been out since October. Haven't read it either. And that's Fight or Flight by Samantha Young. This is about a woman who, I think her flight gets delayed and she meets a Scottish man. And it's kind of about their, like, relationship. And it's all about, like, there's flying and traveling and all that involved. And I love that. I love Scotland. I love traveling. I love flying. So, you know. I remember starting it and I didn't really like it. But I don't think I was just, like, in the mood for this book. I haven't really been hearing a lot of things about it. I heard a lot when it came out, and people were saying it was kind of like an average read, so I'm hoping I enjoy it. I really like Samantha Young's On Dublin Street, so I'm hoping I like this book, but we shall see. And then I would like to reread the Wicked series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think I'm going to do that this summer, and I'm also going to reread her, The Darkest Elements series, which is a gargoyle romance. But that one, the spin-off series is coming out in June, so I want to reread that. But this is a Fae romance. It's only a trilogy, and then the Prince novella came out, but I haven't read that, so it's okay. But I want to reread this. I really enjoyed them when I first read them. They're great novels. They're new adult, so they're a little bit higher than YA. Yeah, and the covers are gorgeous, so. And then I have 2 books from the Misadventures series that I want to read. So the first one is Misadventures with the Country Boy by Elizabeth Haley. Don't really know anything about this as much, but I think he's a former soldier, and obviously they're in the country, and she runs away from her family. I don't know why, but when this book was announced, I've been wanting to read it because I love country books. So we have that. And then I want to read Misadventures with the Speed Demon by Shel Bliss. I don't really know what this is about. I'm assuming it's about a race car driver, but I love the cover, and I think I picked it up because I assumed it was about a race car driver. But yeah, so these are the Misadventures series. There's like 30-something books in this series, all by different authors, all different subjects, but some of them I'm interested in, some of them I'm like, nah, so it's really up to you. And then I also want to read Wait for Me by J.J. Valentine. I have to review this book. I'm going to read it this summer. I think this is going to be one of the first or second books I read after I come back from college, so you'll probably get a review like May or June. That's what I'm assuming, but it's very short. He gave it to me to review, and I got it back in September, but again, I haven't had time to review it. But yeah, so I'm excited. His books are very thoughtful, and that's what I like about them, and they make me just like think about life in general and just think about the concepts that I wouldn't normally think about. So I recommend his books if you haven't read them. Again, they're also super short, so you get through them really fast. But this is the TBR of books, not necessarily that I'm going to read now, but that I would like to get to by the summer or in summer. So yeah, but that is all. I hope you guys are having a wonderful March so far. Spring is coming soon, hopefully. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.